Oh my God, YouTube. It's been too long. Good morning. We're back here at the garden, the secret garden in San Francisco. Let me show you guys again, as always. It's a nice day. I don't know if you all see, but there's like a bunch of people, but you can't see them actually from here. But there's a bunch of people who are in part of the bird watching club here. So they have a big old club of people who every morning come and watch birds here because this park is known for its birds. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really want to join that club because I think bird watching is kind of badass. It looks kind of cool. Like they got these big old binoculars. They could probably identify like every species of bird. But yeah, it's mostly made up of a lot of elderly people from the neighborhood, and I'm not sure how to join. So I think today after this, I'm gonna walk up to them and be like, "Hey guys, are you guys accepting new members? Can I borrow one of your binoculars? Because I don't have my own. Or where can I buy one?" But yeah, I'll probably ask them after this because I do want to join. Bird watching looks really cool. Anyways, it was a very interesting last 7 days. Just like a lot of random serendipitous San Francisco type events. I don't know how to quite describe it. But a very random last 7 days. I guess where do I begin? I guess the first thing is the most random thing. I'm starting the new batch of YC today, which is I don't even know what it's called. It's a spring batch, whatever it's called. I'm joining that today. It kicks off like in 6 hours at 3:30, which is really random. And by the way, just to be clear, because I told one of my friends this on the phone, and he's like, "Well, you're joining YC as a partner?" And I was like, "No. Fuck that. No, I don't want to do that. I'm joining it as a company, as a founder." And it's just really random. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect myself to be doing this week, basically. And so, I guess the really quick backstory of how this happened is that I did YC back in summer of 2020 for my company Zip School, right? Which eventually became BuildSpace. At that time, my partner, his name was Aaron. So when I did YC in summer 2020, I worked with Aaron, who was my partner there, my YC partner. He's like the main guy I spoke to, the main guy who helped me out through a lot of different things. And so anyways, me and Aaron have always been in touch, like during Zip School, during BuildSpace Aftermath, and even today. Throughout all of my crazy journeys and all my whatever, random things that I do, he's always like hitting me up and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, how you doing? Like, let's talk, like, let's catch up." And I think it was like 2 weeks ago, Aaron hits me up and he says, or like 3 weeks ago, Aaron hits me up and he says, "Hey Farza, the next batch of YC is starting. You don't have to apply. You don't have to interview. All you have to do is reply to this email saying that you're in and show up on Monday for the kickoff. That's it." And I was like, "Oh, Aaron, that's awesome. Thank you. I'll definitely think about it." And I was not going to do it. I did not want to do it. Basically, I was like, "Okay, that's a cool offer, but I don't want to do this." I guess my initial feelings were that, like, I don't know, why would I want to? Like, if I wanted to raise money, like that's the point of YC generally, then I can just go and there's many other ways for me to like go after investors and get capital at a better price than the YC deal. And so I was like, "Oh, okay, I don't want to do that." I was like, okay, like I could do that, but again, I'm not really in the place where I even want to do that. I'm kind of still in my exploratory phase where like I'm trying to figure out an idea, I'm trying to figure out a direction. I don't even have anything I'm working on right now. I literally don't have. I have some semblance of an idea of where I'm going, but it's not hyper clear. And so anyways, that's why I was like, "Oh, wow, I don't want to do YC." YC is where you go to kind of accelerate, or that's kind of what you hear about. It's like YC is where you go to kind of really focus and accelerate on something that you already got. And so would it be the best place in the world for me to like figure it out? I don't know. And so, I kind of just like threw it out of my brain. I was like, okay, move on. But then essentially Aaron, as he does, he hit me up again, and we got on the phone and we just talked about it. And I was just really honest with him. I'm like, dude, like, I don't have a co-founder. I don't have an idea of I don't have a clear idea right now. I also don't have a clear product. I have a lot of good energy. I'm very mentally like good, and I feel very strong, and I'm building every day, and I'm super creative right now. But again, I'm still figuring it out. And so we just talked about it, and he was like, hey man, just come here and figure it out. Just come here and figure it out. Like, you're gonna be around me, other great people from the batch. Yeah, maybe that inspires you and puts you in a different space to like come up with different ideas and have different inputs basically into your brain. And so I think that's where I really was like, okay, maybe that is a good idea, because it made me reflect for a moment. I was like, okay, I've been building stuff at my house now for the last 1 year. So it's been about 1 year and a quarter of me building at my house basically by myself. There have been moments where I worked with other people and worked in other places, but it's mostly been me, my ideas at my house or at whatever co-working space that I go to randomly. But again, when I say by myself, I mean like I'm working mostly in my own head, and so the riskiest thing there is not getting new inputs. I think to just kind of like be in your own head in your own space all the time and almost get comfortable and not get new inputs that kind of push you in new directions. And so I know that I'm the type of guy where new conversations, new people around me, new kind of energy around me is really, really, really good for me. And so when I first got this YC thing a couple of weeks ago, I immediately said no, because I already did YC in summer 2020 or spring 2020, or yes, summer 2020. But I think this is the thing. When I did YC in summer 2020, it was online. It was during COVID. And so I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't even remember YC or what it was, because like, it was nothing. It was like one shitty Zoom call per week. I remember Brian Chesky pulled up to one of the Zoom calls and I thought that was kind of cool. But then that was it. For the most part, I was just, in my house during COVID by myself, and there was a Zoom call once a week. And so I was like, oh, like, I don't wanna, that was my kind of understanding of YC. But then, yeah, I was like, wait a second, like, that's not what it is anymore. I get to go in real life. They have these kind of touch points throughout the week where I can go to the office, I can be around other people, I can like talk about my idea in a more open way around other people. And what's really funny is that Build Space was like a program for people to build their own stuff and build their own ideas, right? But what's really funny is I've never joined such a program myself. Like, I've never joined an entrepreneurial program. I've never joined a founder program. I've never joined anything. I've never even been to a conference. I've never even been to any of these events. And so I was like, okay, maybe I give this a shot. Like, this is YC. It's apparently really good. It's apparently really interesting. It can't be that bad. It can't be, and I'm sure it's probably gonna be pretty good for me if I can kind of get out of the house, get out of my brain, and force myself to, kind of talk about my ideas with other people on a daily basis. And I guess that kind of sold me in my brain. I guess, okay, like I felt like, okay, if for the next 3 months I can either be at my house and figuring it out, or I can be at YC figuring it out. Which one do I pick? It's not an easy decision actually, but I think it's YC. And I want to say a couple of things on this. YC and any of these programs, any of these founder type things, you put a certain amount of pressure on yourself, right? To like figure it out. And so everyone around you is succeeding or trying to pursue a direction and trying to find focus, or is already really focused. And it's worth asking, like, is that the best place to figure it out? To find a new idea? Because to find a new idea, to find direction, you need space and time. But you also need, at some level, some amount of pressure. And so I think that, like, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really the type of guy to get stressed or pressured by external sources. Like, I already put so much pressure on myself where it's like, it doesn't matter if someone else is pressuring me, like, it doesn't affect me. So like, even if like one thing with YC is like, you may go and, I'll be the guy that's figuring it out. I don't really have a clear idea or direction or a product. I'm just kind of the guy that's figuring it out. I'm the figuring it out guy. And it can feel bad if everyone around you is like succeeding or winning or making like $1 million a month immediately, stuff like that. But once again, that stuff does not get to me. This is like a new thing with me, like as of the age of 30, in the last 2 years after Build Space, where I have such confidence in myself. I have such belief in my path and that I am gonna figure it out, that I am gonna do all the things that I wanna do, that I don't ever really feel this feeling of like, there's a giant spider right now with a web going through. Do you guys see this shit? There's no way. He's right. Oh my God. Bro, that's a huge spider. What the fuck? Okay, he's climbing his little web up though. I think we're good. Oh my God. He's climbing his little web up. You guys see it? It's right there. Oh, it's right out of the camera. Fuck, you won't believe me now. Okay, as long as it doesn't fucking bite me, it should be okay. I forgot what I was saying, but anyways, doing YC should be good. Should be good for me to get out of the house and be around other people who are pushing themselves. And it's I know that I think that environment would be good for me. Oh, and the last thing, the thing that really sold me to do it, Aaron said that within YC it's like 100 companies, but then you have different groups within the batch. And so Aaron said that my group, the one that he wants to kind of have me join for, is going to be all second-time YC founders. So I thought that was really interesting, because starting one company and failing is kind of common at this point. But starting a second company, like, dude, you got to be a different level of like kind of crazy or emotionally secure or whatever it is to start a second company, knowing how hard it is to do the first one. Like, to be honest with you, it is so surprising that I'm even starting another company. It is fucking crazy that I'm even doing any of this shit again, because the last company was so hard on my brain, on my body, on just on everything. It was so hard. It was a daily 12-hour, 14-hour day thing. And to think that I'm gonna wanna do it again? But I think the difference now is that's why I find second-time founders so interesting, because obviously they know it's gonna be really hard, and obviously they've changed a lot of things within themselves to do the journey again. Because I'm not 23 anymore. When I was 23, I treated myself like shit. I was fueled by angst and despair. I had so much hatred within me. I think 90% of my motivation at 23 came from me just wanting to prove myself to everybody, and just very unhealthy, But I mean, honestly, a lot of first-time founders when you're young, I don't know, you don't really think about your deeper philosophies that much. You're kind of like a dog, and you're just going. And that's why you see most founders our age, 19 to 24, because they're just dogs, and they can go after anything kind of just blindly and just like focus and push themselves like crazy to get through the hard parts of the hardest thing, which is starting the journey and getting that kinetic energy to just like push past like the first kind of couple of milestones. And so I think second-time founders, their problems are often that they think too much. They're too aware of their emotions, and they almost can't unlock that old dog within them to just go. And anyways, I think that second-time founders are very interesting people, because to me they're kind of crazy. and so anyways, when Aaron said that, hey, you get to be around a bunch of other second-time founders, I thought, oh, that sounds so cool, that I could do that. Because yeah, man, I don't know, being around other people who are on a similar journey, similar path, on the same timelines as you two, is just a really interesting thing. So it's like, okay, cool, we're all gonna be figuring it out together. Oh, okay, that sounds kind of fun. Let's do that. That definitely sounds better than me figuring it out by myself in my house for the next 3 months. And oh, I just remembered what I was saying before the spider came. I've never joined a program before. I've never joined any of these programs. Even though YC was online, and so I barely remember it. And so I think this is gonna be my first time where I really actually join a program where I get to like, just like join it. I don't know, my whole build space and a lot of things I've done in my life have been me creating things and experiences for other people to help them build stuff. And I think this is the first time in my life maybe where I'm like opening myself up to be like, okay, like I'm gonna join this experience to help me build stuff that somebody else made, which is crazy to say, but it's my first time kind of doing anything like this. Because once again, YC and COVID did not count. That was one shitty Zoom call a week. It was nothing. But yeah, so anyways, excited to start that. I think it's like 2 sessions per week or something. Office hours, all that stuff. It kicks off today in like 5 hours. And so I'm pretty excited. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I don't want this to get too long. Maybe one more thing here is, I wrote it down in my little notebook. It's funny. I have such stupid amount of self-confidence in myself. I have so much belief in like my abilities and everything. But then there are these moments where I think I'm just the biggest shitlord of all time. And I'm just like trash. And so I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when Aaron said, hey, do YC, my first thought was that, dude, I'm not talented anymore. All my best days are behind me. I have no more good ideas. I'm gonna do YC and then what? In 3 months, I'm gonna like have nothing. Like nothing changes. I got nothing. And it's so funny how like my brain can still go into, my brain is so good at going from like imposter syndrome mode to like I'm the GOAT. But I will say, like 70% of the time, I do feel like I'm the GOAT and I have a lot of confidence. But then 30%, I'm like, dude, I'm shit. I have no talent. I have like I've been at my house for the last year and I still have not been able to do anything worthwhile. Like, all these crazy voices in my head. And so, and of course I know that's not true. I've done a lot of things in the last year that I'm super proud of, but the voices in your head can be crazy. And I think that's the big difference between now. And honestly, there was also some amount of fear. I was so scared to do this YC thing again because it means I'm starting a company. It means like I'm really actually starting a company in a way, which is scary as fuck, dude. Because again, I told you guys in the beginning, like starting my first company, I've started many companies now. But my previous company was like so stressful and part of me was so scared to like do it all again. This would be a moment where I'm like, oh man, I'm really starting another company now. So I'm no longer just fucking around. Well, I guess I'm always fucking around, but it's a little more serious now. Add a little more seriousness to it. And that scared me, man. It really scared me because it meant that I was just scared because it meant that, what if I go back to my old self and experience all those old bad emotions and old negativity, and I don't want to do that again. Like that's horrible. But then, you take a moment to really settle down, and then you realize, no, like you're not the same person anymore. I'm not 24 anymore, fueled by despair and hatred. I'm 30. I'm a guy who's, I would say, very much at peace with himself, very happy, very mentally motivated, very like energized to build things and do wonderful things for the world. And I'm starting this company from a completely different place than when I was 23. Completely different place. A much healthier place. And I think that's good. That's much better. I would hate to start this company from like a negative place or from like the same place from when I was 24. And so, yeah, I think part of growing up in this game is also that you learn your lessons, you improve yourself, you improve your mental so that you can take better shots in the future. And so, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I first got all this YC stuff, I felt a lot of these emotions, imposter syndrome, fear, And you know, at one point I was like, should I just get a job? Like, why would I want to do and start another company? Like, I'm second guessing myself, et cetera, et cetera. But again, I think that's kind of normal to experience these things, at least for me. Because I think majority of the time, I have full belief in myself. But you know, the voices in my head are voices in my head. That's all they are. And I don't think that they're worth indexing on that much. I still listen to the voices in my head, but I don't assume that they're true. You know, I think that's the important part. So for example, if the voice in my head says, Farza, you know, your best days are behind you. You have no more good ideas. Okay, listen to that and be like, no, I actually disagree. Like, looking at the last kind of 12 months, I've come up with like 10 good ideas. Now, of course, none of them have been super focused, and none of them have like, I didn't like nurture each idea into being something a lot bigger, but at their core, a lot of my ideas in the last year have been very good ideas. And so again, that's the difference between me at 24 versus me at 30. Me at 24, I'm gonna be like, Farza, you have no good ideas and you're trash. And you know what I do when I'm 24? I'm a dog. I'm just like aping myself into the work, and I'm trying to just like solve all my problems by, you know, building a bigger company, which is a horrible strategy. I mean, some people still do that, to be honest, but it's a horrible strategy for me. Me at 30 though, I'm just gonna listen to the voices. I'm gonna disagree with them or agree with them. I'm gonna improve myself, and I'm just gonna keep on going forward and trying to build something cool, man. And just try to live a good, happy life. While also making something fucking sick. Okay, that's all I got. I didn't talk about my week at all, I'm so sorry. But it's been a really cool last 7 days. I've had a lot of cool conversations. I'm working on some cool new ideas. I'm still working on some make something stuff. But for the most part, I just wanted to talk about this and my feelings around it. And I think I'm gonna go and tell you guys more about stuff I'm actually building next week. But now I'm gonna go up to the bird watching people and see if they let me into their club. Hopefully they don't think I'm annoying, because I'm kind of the guy with a camera talking loud in the garden. So hopefully I didn't scare off their birds. Now I'm kind of scared. No, I gotta do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. All right, YouTube. If you watched, by the way, thank you to the people who watch these. I don't know who you guys are, or why you care about me, but hey, thanks. I appreciate you guys. Hey, quick question. Do you guys have like a bird watching like club or thing?
So you have a lot to learn.
I know nothing, but I'm very curious.
I'm so jealous of someone like you.
You're jealous? Why?
Because we know all the birds. And
Oh.
To find a new bird is a real thrill, and you've got a whole bunch of thrills ahead of you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
You're gonna have
Oh, you got pictures?
a shot of just the butterfly that you can enjoy.
Oh wow, these are some crazy pictures.
Thank you.
Wow, this is today?
Yeah.
Whoa, these are all here?
This is yes. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So
What's the coolest country that you've seen birds in?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Well, I mean, that's not a country though.
Yeah, state, yeah.
If there's one place I could go right now, it'd be Panama.
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 I haven't been there, but yeah.
Beautiful. Cool. Hey guys, thanks for all the information. It was cool talking. You too. Nice guys.